So Aiden,
Yeah?
I gotta tell you a dad joke.
All right.
Your mom told me I had to stop acting like a flamingo.
Were you too pink?
No, I had to put my foot down. Not that funny?
No.
I guess I'll have to go back to just putting all my eggs in the MoneyWise FAQ basket.
It is the best basket for you to look at.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Good morning, Bobby Joe. How are you?
Pretty good. Clients often ask how payroll taxes are calculated and withheld with each payroll run.
Yeah, that's a really great question. The first thing we've got to look at is calculating what their actual taxable wage base is. You know, an employee or an employer may think that whatever your gross pay is, your gross salary, your gross hourly rate, that's what I'm being taxed on. But there are certain deductions that reduce that taxable wage base. Any retirement deductions reduce your wage base for state and federal taxes. Any pre-tax health insurance, dental insurance, those kinds of benefits, those actually reduce all of your wage bases, your Social Security wage base, your Medicare wage base, as well as your federal and state wage base. So the first thing we got to think about when we think about calculating taxes is we've got to actually calculate your taxable wage base.
So where would you start with breaking that down once you have that number?
Yeah, once we have your taxable wage base, then the next thing we've got to do is we've got to calculate your statutory taxes, your required taxes, the taxes that are for every employee every time. So that's your Social Security and Medicare. The total of that is 7.65%. There are some limits on Social Security where after which you don't have to pay any more in. That's a relatively large taxable wage base before that happens. There's some additional Medicare that comes after, again, a relatively large taxable wage base. For the employer side, they pay the same 7.65% on the taxable wages that the employee pays. The employer also has some unemployment tax that it's due, both at the federal level and the state level. Those both have a cap on the wage base as well. Your federal unemployment caps at $7,000 in wages per employee, and your state caps at whatever the various state rate is. In Virginia, it's $8,000 of wages per employee.
So let's get into the more talked about federal and state withholding from the employees' paychecks.
Yeah, and again, another really good question. That's why employees have to fill out a W-4. What an individual employee claims determines what the actual withholding rate is for that employee. The withholding tables are designed, they're supposed to work so that what's withheld will equal what's owed. But your mileage may vary on that because it depends on how well you followed kind of the worksheet that goes with your W-4 to calculate what should have gone in all those boxes.
How much different is the state withholding? How much does that line up with federal?
Very different, right? The federal rate of taxes that you might pay, you might hear numbers like 15% bracket or the 20% bracket. Most states have a much lower percent bracket because you'll also have local taxes, whether that's an income tax like you might find in the state of Pennsylvania or a property tax like you might find in the state of Virginia. And then of course there are states that have no income tax. There'd be no withholding there. Depending on how you fill out the form or what product your employer might be using for payroll, you might have a slightly different answer there as well. But those forms inform the actual number.
There's a lot of good information, the way to break it down.
Well, thanks for a great question, Bobby Joe.
You're welcome.
If you have questions about this or any other payroll-related issue, we have a lot of resources on our website and on our social channels.
Also, feel free to give the office a call, stop in, or email us. Any one of us would be happy to speak with you about your questions.
And if you need a new payroll provider, make sure you check out our affordability calculator on our website so that we can get you a free quote. My name is Sean.
My name is Bobby.
This has been a MoneyWise FAQ.